So this is the back of the X3. I'm gonna hardwire a 12 volt plug. This one here is the factory plug, which works pretty great, but it shuts down when the car shuts down. I tested, I think it's 10 minutes or something greater than 5. But anyway, that shuts off power, and since we need constant power back here, I'm gonna do something different. Started out by opening this. This panel just lifts out, and then this panel has a one of those plastic plunger pieces that they use for automotive. You just pry that up carefully, and then a screw here and a screw here, Torx bit. Then this lifts out very easily, and then you have access to this little compartment here. I think this is an air exchanger, and then there's a pass through basically underneath here that you can move wires through. Here's the battery, negative of course, and then this positive with this BMW style junction. Not sure totally how this works, but I think it just distributes power. And then what I'm actually going to do to keep it a little tighter and use a 12 volt cigarette outlet is come up through this side and pop out here so that my connection can just rest in here. It's still extra cord and everything. So plan will be to connect here to the positive terminal and then ground it somewhere over in here. So you can't see it all that well, but that's kind of the idea. So there's a wire coming out of here and just fed it through the elastic here, and then that plugs in to the fridge here, which I used the 12 volt so that I didn't have to cut the fridge cord apart. But basically it's just a wire running to the red lead with a little circle on the battery, like a little circle connector right here, and then another one, the ground, just there was a hole all pre-drilled in the panel back here. You can see it right there in the light, that blue thing. So ground it right there, and you can see the inline fuse that goes to the battery. It's a 20 amp. I don't know if that's the appropriate size, but I've seen that on a bunch of power panels for cars, so there it is. And so now this thing is full-time powered, and make sure it's plugged in. There we go, power on. So now the thing's got power all the time, and the car doesn't have to be turned on or have any power run. All right, so this picture turned out kind of sorry, just the way iMovie zooms things. But anyway, the diagram just shows at the bottom there's battery, and from the positive terminal of battery you go to an inline fuse, then to one of the wires of the 12 volt cigarette outlet. The other wire comes out of that outlet and goes to a ground, which in my case I just used part of the body or the frame, just an exposed piece of metal that's connected to the frame of the car. In order to identify which wire is powering that center power pole in the cigarette outlet, just take a multimeter, connect to the negative terminal of the battery, then take the other lead and touch it to that power pole. Then you'll have two wires coming out of the cigarette outlet, and you can touch one and then touch the other to the positive terminal of the battery, and when the multimeter reads 12 or 11 or whatever your battery is putting out, then you know that that wire is the one that's feeding that power pole in the cigarette outlet, and that's the one you want to connect to the fuse and to the positive terminal of the battery. That's it.